Well, today I'm going to show you how to make chocolate cake with Nutella cream filling, for which the ingredients I have here are around 200 grams of all-purpose flour, or you can say 2 cups of all-purpose flour, around 180 grams of white granulated sugar, or you can say 1.5 cup of white granulated sugar, around 2 large egg whites, 1.5 teaspoon of baking soda, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 100 grams of butter, 2 large egg yolks, and 10 grams of vanilla essence powder, or you can say a half teaspoon of vanilla essence powder. The ingredients for making the Nutella cream, I have here homemade buttercream, the recipe of which you can find in my other video. Some amount of extra butter, that is around 10 to 15 grams of extra butter, 1 more sachet of vanilla essence powder, 100 grams of cooking chocolate, 250 ml of whipping cream, and some nice Nutella. So let's get started. So the very first thing is I'm going to sift the flour, the baking soda, the cocoa powder and the baking soda. Just going to sift this, and now just mix it and keep it aside. Now this has been very nicely mixed. I'm just going to keep this aside, and we're going to take in another bowl 2 egg yolks, I'm going to add the vanilla essence powder in it, and I'm going to add a little bit amount of sugar. The other half I'm going to add in the egg whites. When I'm going to beat that, I'm just going to mix this with the hand first, with the spatula, and add in the oil. And now I'm going to add in the butter. The butter should be at room temperature. Now I'm going to beat this with the beater. We're going to beat this till it's a bit airy, around 3 to 4 minutes. This is done now. Now I'm just going to keep this aside, and I'm going to take another bowl and add in the egg whites. And we're going to beat this till it's nice peak. I'm going to add in the vanilla essence first, and I'm going to beat, and in between I'm going to add the sugar. At this point I'll be adding the sugar. And now it's done. It's quite nice cake. You can see it's quite high peak. We have to do it, and it's not falling down. Alright, so in the next step, I'm just going to take this butter with bowl, and I'm going to add in the meringue first. That is the egg whites that we have whipped. Just going to add in that. I'm going to mix this. I've mixed all the meringue. Now I'm going to add in the dry ingredients. That is the flour mixture. We're going to mix it well. Of course, as always, if you find it a bit more thick, you can always add a little bit of milk. That I always do at the end. Alright, I'm going to add just a tiny bit of milk. If you don't want to, you don't, but I think if it's a little bit more thin, the better. It's better. Alright, so this is done. Now we are going to pour it in our baking dish. I've already graced it with butter and spread some flour on it. So I've got here 2 baking dish I will be using, and these are very small, so we are going to bake our cake for 25 to 30 minutes at 190 degrees as these are small baking dish I'm using here. Alright, so I'll just finish up with spreading this on the baking dish and we'll be back. Right, so these are ready to pop into the oven and we'll start with the making of the Nutella cream. Alright, so for the cream I'm going to add in first the amount of whipping cream and we are going to beat it. Alright, when it's a good beat, just like this one, I'm going to add in the buttercream. And we're going to beat it again. And now I'm going to add in the Nutella. Around 1/3 cup of Nutella I'm adding in. And now a final mix of all of this. Well, so now the cream is done, the cream filling, so let's go and make the ganache. For the ganache in the double boiler, add in the chocolates, the butter and the vanilla essence powder and let it melt. If you wish, you can also add a little bit of powdered sugar. And I'll be adding a little bit of whipped cream or whipping cream, and I'll be adding a little bit of Nutella. To give a little bit more glazy look for the ganache, you can add more of butter if you like. So this is done now. Alright, the cakes are out of the oven. I'll just make them rest for some time at room temperature and we'll start with the last process, that's the building of the cake. So I've got all these things ready for building up the cake. We have got the cakes here which are at room temperature now, and I've got the ganache, the Nutella cream, and along with that some decorating things. I've got some nicely handmade chocolate rose flowers. The video of this one is already published, so you can watch that in one of my videos. I have shown you how to make that. Alright, so first thing what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of buttercream and spread it here, just a tiny bit, and I'm going to keep this way upside down. I'm going to spread the butter, the cream, the Nutella cream, sorry, on it. Alright, this is quite nicely covered. I'm going to add on top of it the cake, and I'm going to cover the cake with the Nutella cream batter. Alright, I've covered it with the cream, and I'm just going to shape it a little bit. I'm going to keep it in the refrigerator for at least 20 minutes till it's a bit set down and a bit nice and cold, and then I'm going to add the ganache on top of it. Alright, this looks like done, so now I'm going to pop it in the fridge, just taking out some of the excess of the cream, from it. After 20 minutes I've taken this out from the fridge. I'm going to pour this lovely topping on top, that is the ganache. Just pour it nicely. I'm just going to scrape the ganache everywhere, and it doesn't matter, just the Ganesh. Alright, now this is covered with Ganesh. I'm just going to tidy up the sides, and I'll just add the flowers on it. Oh, but before adding it, just have to make sure that I put some of the buttercream down there. Just a tiny bit of buttercream I've added, and I'm just going to place this. Oh, just messed around it a little bit. Doesn't matter. Okay, just place this right there. I'm going to add some more buttercream on this side, and I'm gonna place this right here, the other one. I've added some buttercream on it. Just place it this way. And for the third one, I've added the buttercream right here, the tiny one. I'm going to add it here. I've also added some leaves to it to give that natural look, and I'm going to just wipe this off. Alright, here it is, it's done. I've added some ruffled lines on the sides with the leftover buttercream, and here it is. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.
Yeah.